Approximately 12 hours after the launch of this video will be the official start time of the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest single-day event in the world for cars. So let's take a look at the history of the cruise and why this event is so focused around a single, very particular stretch of road. And to understand the Dream Cruise, we first have to understand Woodward and why car culture was drawn to this particular stretch of road. Woodward, in a sense, is older than America. The original Woodward Street followed the 1701 Saginaw Indian Trail, and when Detroit was founded, it immediately set itself on fire in foreshadowing for what was to come. So the townsfolk put Judge Augustus Woodward in charge of rebuilding Detroit. His street plan called for a 120-foot wide road going all the way from Detroit to Pontiac, Woodward Avenue. By 1817, this dirt trail was paved with timber and sand, and by 1848, it had been completely paved over with planks, something that the young carriage drivers enjoyed as they raced each other during their off time. Yes, they were having drag races on Woodward as early as 1848. And as the 20th century began, M1 became the first paved highway in America, followed shortly by the world's first four-way stoplight. In fact, it was first driven on in 1896, and Henry Ford used it to shake down and develop the Model T. After World War II, this practice grew with automotive culture. The hot rodding scene ensured that it wasn't just the big three playing on Woodward. The avenue became this sort of precarious balance between the sacred and the profane, as churches and drive-ins and bars shot up all over the place, with those latter two definitely being more impactful on bringing in the new teenager scene, who in turn reintroduced racing to Woodward. With miles of straight, paved roads and a median in the middle, it was perfect for drag racing your newest muscle cars. Dealerships and accessory shops met the demand, and Woodward became the automotive haven of America. If you think of Americana in the automotive sense, you think of Route 66 and Woodward. Until the gas crisis hit. Gas-guzzling V8 monsters weren't viable anymore, and sales collapsed, along with Woodward and the entire American auto industry. Simply put, the Detroit metro area slipped out of its wild 60s shoes and into a normal pair of work boots. It had become just like every other metropolitan area by 1994, and one Ferndale handyman named Nelson House felt nostalgic for the glory days of the American muscle era. He also happened to be in charge of a committee trying to raise money for a soccer field. So he had the idea of a classic car show spanning Woodward Avenue. Now, getting several different cities to agree to such a thing was a difficult task, but eventually, each city agreed to host a classic car cruise on the third Saturday of August 1995. House figured that if 25,000 people showed up, it would be a success. And by that metric, it was definitely a success. Conservative estimates put the total attendance at 250,000 people, driving over 10,000 cars. Enthusiasts came from every corner of the country as far away as Arizona. Yeah, they got their soccer field, and they also got complete chaos. Nobody at any level of government expected this many people, and the metro area was completely overwhelmed. People were camping in the median, doing burnouts on the streets, and blowing their cars up left, right, and center. The police were completely clueless as to when the chaos would end and how many jails it would take to lock up everyone doing illegal activities. People quickly realized this was way too big for a little charity organization and generated way too much money, so the government stepped in. And unlike how that sounds, government oversight was exactly what the cruise needed. Rules were established, casual traffic was given alternate routes, and support facilities were set up. This is what has allowed the cruise to expand even farther than House originally planned, officially covering 16 miles and 9 different cities. The 2018 Dream Cruise had an estimated 40,000 vehicles and over 1.5 million attendees, the largest single-day automotive event in the world. It's a staple of the Michigan tourist industry, bringing in over $56 million to the local economy, and is one of, honestly, the most welcoming automotive events out there. Obviously, classic muscle cars and hot rods are the stars, but any automotive subculture is welcome. JDM, European classics, supercars, off-roaders, they're all welcomed with open arms. I mean, last time I went, there was an entire parking lot full of Cosworth Vegas, while a 10-foot tall shopping cart powered by a supercharged V8 drove by. It's probably the only place in the world where you can see a Porsche 917 kit car, a Pontiac Fiero dragster, and an upside-down van parked next to each other at a stoplight. It hit a COVID-shaped speed bump in 2020, but it has since rebounded to the same insane popularity of years gone by, and I don't see that going away anytime soon.